came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Can't no one stop me, yeah, bring it in. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. Top down, faded windows tinted. Push it with it, push it to the limit.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Back again, another episode of the Fight Lounge. This one's UFC Vegas 112. So this is the last card of the year. We had the last pay-per-view of the year last week. This one will be the last fight card of the entire year. No more fights for 6 weeks. It's all good. We have hockey to keep us going. We got some football, college sports, plenty of other MMA out there if that's what you're really into. But let's just dive in here, break this slut down in a nice little package for you guys right at the end of the year, almost as if it was a present from your boy. But let's go. First fight of the night. You got Teresa Bleda versus Jamie Lynn Horth. Teresa 7-1, minus 160 favorite. 24 years old with a 71-inch reach. Jamie Lynn Horth 8-2, plus 130. 35 years old. That's an 11-year age gap. Almost 12. I'll talk to you guys about that in a minute. She 5'7", 2 inches shorter, and at a 5-inch reach disadvantage is Jamie Lynn Horth. So usually it's, I don't take women's favorites. I'm just going to break it down like that. Minus 160. That's not for me. That's not for you. It's not what we do. And then on the other side, I can't really bet. I love a woman's underdog. It's a dog or pass with women's fights, unless they're very clear favorite. Teresa Bleda at minus 160, that doesn't scream like she's the clear favorite, or this, not a one-sided fight. We'll say it like that. So, in my opinion, you got to pass on this one. Or if you really like it, take the dog. But for me, I don't have anything, and I'm not betting on 35-year-olds that are an 11-year age gap, because the information I do have on that tells us when a fighter is 9 to 10 years older, they're losing that fight like 90% of the time. Granted, in women's divisions, it is a little bit lower, around 70 to 80%. But it's just something we don't want to go against. It's a very good trend on the other side. But, Teresa Bleda is not the best either. Like, this is a very amateur card most of the way through. They're not really giving us a nice send-off for the end of the year. Shout out to Nicholas Handy, my guy in the chat. Yeah, they're not really giving us a good card. They already gave us a pay-per-view last week. And then on top of that, they're switching from ESPN to their new Paramount Plus. Now, the first card of the year, that's going to be a banger because they want to show out for Paramount Plus. You just gave us, X amount of billions dollars, 6 or 8 billion, something like that it was. Anyways, on the other side, they're saying bye-bye to ESPN, so they don't give a fuck what kind of product they deliver to them for the very last one on their contract. From a business perspective, they could really feed them a shovel of shit, and what are you going to do, end our contract? Pfft, it's over anyways. Fuck you guys. So that's where I'm at with most of this card, but there is some good spots to pick out. Just not going to get greasy with these women's fights. I think we got 3 of them on this card, so maybe we'll get to something on one of these other women's fights. But for me, I ain't betting on all 3 women's fights, that's for sure. So, like I said, dog or pass, we'll leave it at that. Jamie Lynn Horth, she is bigger, stronger, and like I said, Teresa Bleda is not very impressive, so probably, if you do anything here, it should be the dog. Alan Fry versus Guilherme Pat. These are 2 guys, both making their UFC debut. You got Alan Fry at plus 140. Don't even have an age on Guilherme Pat here on Tapology. So, both about the same, 240 pounds. Guilherme Pat, 1 inch taller, 6'5" versus 6'4". Don't even have a reach on Alan Fry yet. But this is another one where it's a dog or pass. But I ain't passing. I'm going for the dog. Alan Fry looking pretty good at 6-0. And he was in, I don't know, not very decent promotions, but Ultimate Battlegrounds. He was just beaten. I think both these guys have beaten cans. He beat a guy that was 2-3. I mean, a little bit on this card. Let's go down to the next fight. Alpha Strout was 5-2. He beat up a guy that was 8-8. 2-0. Brent Williams beat up a guy that was 0-1. It's really just that pattern. They're knocking out cans over here in this Ultimate Battlegrounds out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Just guys that think they're tough regionally, knocking each other out. Not what you would call good fighting, but still entertaining to watch. And then let's go to the other side, Guillermo Pat. Okay, he was in the LFA in his last fight. That's a little bit more respectable. But then he was on Fight Music Show. Like I said, I haven't even heard of most of these guys. This one's a Brazilian promotion, Spartacus MMA, which I have heard of and never watched it. It's not really highly respected either. So yeah, both these guys new to the UFC. Like I said, they're giving a shit product here to ESPN for the end of the year. Like literally almost flipping them the bird. But doesn't mean that it's not going to be exciting for us, and we can't find value in the dogs. And this Guillermo Pat guy, he's another guy who looks good. Everyone's going to be on him. He's jacked. Fucking jacked. I'll share the picture right now if you guys want. You can do that. Why not? So yeah, here he is. Looks good. Everybody would say, "Oh, we should bet on this big Brazilian." Not me. Fuck that. Seen lots of times these guys that are physically fit, big muscles means more blood in them, and they could gas, man. And this guy, I think he's gonna do exactly that. So this is Alan Fry on the other side. I mean, it's a shitty fight. I'll be honest again with you guys, but if you're gonna do anything in a shitty fight like this, you don't take the favorite, that's for sure. So I think I'm going to wrap it up at that. Not really much else to say to break this fight down for you. We'll go to the second women's fight of the night. This one's good. Luana Santos and Melissa Croden, fellow Canadian. She's 7-2. Luana Santos is 9-2. This one's a near pick'em, -125 to +105. I do think those lines have got inflated just a little bit now. No, they're still about the same. Still about the same. Nothing, I think, has really jumped from what I've seen or heard. So, anyways, back to this one. Second women's fight. This is a bantamweight fight here. I mean, I don't know if I really trust Melissa Croden. Again, she's in that same spot. This is only 9 years. And then that whole age gap theory I was talking about earlier doesn't really apply to the women's division as much as it does the men's division, because like these girls are still powerful, and at the end of the day they're still both really good fighters. She's not 35 yet, is Melissa Croden, so that's kind of the cutoff you want. Above 35, 34 in 8 months, she's still doing just fine for the women's bantamweight division, I think, and the level of competition. So yeah, man, this one I think I'd have to try lean towards Luana Santos, but again, I don't like taking women's favorites. Hate getting burned on those. Could see some violence in this one. I think it's got a little bit of potential for a Luana Santos submission, for sure. Melissa Croden, she's finished a lot of her fights too. So this might be one, everybody would be like, "Oh, women go the distance, every fight, parlay that shit, easy money." I think one of these 3 fights is going to burn you. At least one of them for sure is going to burn you on this card. Her last 3 fights finished in round 2 and 3. So, 4-1 last 5 to the finish. And I mean, 3 of them are in LFA. 1 is in UFC. So that's pretty good. The other one was her regional promotion near out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Ha! Just a little joke for the Canadians, fellow Canadian joke out there. Yeah, so again, I don't know if I can bet the dog here. It's really tough. This is one I might want to watch live, or just if you want to get a little bit greasy. And like I said, that round 2, round 3 finish. I mean, I could see finishing potential on the Luana Santos side with a little bit of a submission threat. And then I could see, like I said, maybe a knockout, or hell, she might submit her. Probably not, as Luana Santos is the grappler here, so definitely lean more to a submission on her side than the other side. She's 4-1 last 5. Lost to Casey O'Neill in a decision, which I don't know. I can't really remember, but I'm pretty sure judges got involved there, like in a bad way. So I think it was obviously a close fight. Maybe they swung the cards the wrong way, because I know Casey O'Neill fucking kind of sucks. And if I remember, if my memory serves me well, and I think it does, I do think it was a greasy decision that everybody was not agreeing with online. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it there. I would take a finish round 2, round 3. I'll get you guys some numbers on those. How about that? We have Melissa Croden, Luana Santos, round betting. So you can take Melissa round 2 plus 1,000, 3 plus 1,200, Santos round 2 plus 1,200 and plus 1,600. I mean, those numbers are a little bit kind of low, honestly, for a women's MMA fight. They're telling a little bit something there. Then just for the fight to end in round 2 or round 3, which is what I would take, wouldn't pick a side. Plus 600 and plus 800 for round 3 there with Luana Santos and Melissa Croden. And that's all I got there. Let's go to fight number 4 of the night. This one's, I'm going to say it's a good fight. It's going to be fun to watch. But again, these guys are brand new to the UFC. You might not even see them around again. I mean, Steven Asplund, if he wins, you'll see him in another fight. If this Sean Sheriff guy loses, you'll never see him again. Never. So, yeah, let's go through the tail of the tape here. Sean Sheriff 4-1, and Steven Asplund 6-1. Plus 190 underdog is Sean Sheriff, 32 years old. Weigh-in results, 250 pounds. He's 6'3", 77-inch reach. On the other side, Steven Asplund. Concrete Steven, 27, 260 pounds. I will say this quick. This guy used to be 520 pounds, guys. Big boy. Lost a lot of weight. He's 6'5" with a 1-inch reach advantage. So Sean Sheriff on his side, I'm not going to trust this guy to bet as a dog, really. I mean, he might do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not counting him out at all, but am I going to put my money on him this time? No, not this time. He does have a round 2 loss to Junior Tafa, which is not good. Not good. Those guys, they look like good strikers because they're knocking people out, but they've been proven as frauds now in the UFC. And then, yeah, this guy was just in, LXF, Fight Club, OC, UNF 9, just king of the cage. Yeah, not anything respectable. This guy's anything but a fucking scrapper. He might have a little bit more striking skill. And this guy, Steven Asplund, same shit, man. He's a scrapper, a brawler. And his record is 4-1 in LFA, which is definitely a better promotion. Did have a Dana White's Contender Series fight. He went 1-0 with a 16-second finish, knocking this guy out. So now they're both making their UFC debut. And this motherfucker has violence written all over it. Violence. Fatality. Our boy Steven Asplund, last fight, round 1, 16 seconds. Round 2, 1 minute and a half. Round 3, before that, Hammer Morton at LFA 200 went to round 3, minute and a half. And then rear naked choke before that, 1 minute, 17 seconds. Before that, round 1, 5 minutes. Round 1, 11 seconds. Round 3, got to round 3. This is important for later in a couple of his amateur bouts. But professional career, only 2 times has it not went under 1.5 rounds. And that's the bet that we're on here. It's minus 180, but we are going to use it as a parlay piece. And then let's go to Sean Sheriff's record again. Round 2, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, 15 seconds shy of the under 1.5. Round 1, 3 minutes 20. Round 1, 4.5. Round 1, 9 seconds. Round 1, 1 minute. Round 1, 1 minute 20 seconds. Round 2, 15 seconds in. So this guy, every single time, even his amateur bouts, every time under 1.5. So I think that's going to line up for violence. Like I said, these guys are brawlers. They didn't come here to have a fucking technical striking match. We all know what's going to happen here. This one's the last fight on the prelims before the early prelims start. Sorry, the early prelims, last fight, and then the prelims start. So basically a showcase fight to get the people going. Okay. And that's going to be the end of the early prelims breakdown. The under 1.5, minus 180, Sean Sheriff, Steven Asplin. I think that's a great bet. And we're going to use it in a parlay, like I said. And that's coming up. Next fight. That is Yaroslav. Oh, I wanted to do one thing, actually. We're going to bring up a picture of Steven Asplin so you guys can understand what I am talking about. Which one is it? This one. So right here, this is what he looks like now. I mean, this guy's never. I hate to shit talk somebody. Congratulations that he was 525 pounds, but this is not a guy that's ever going to be champion. And I don't really see him being around in the UFC for a very long time. I fucking don't. So is what it is there. Let's go next fight. Well, that's too big. Y'all don't want to see that. All right. Let's get back to business. Next fight, starting the prelims. All right. Neil Magny, one of the oldest fighters in the UFC for sure. He's been around since GSP days, man, if you guys don't know. And 31-13 is his record. Plus 320 underdog. And he's 38 years old, 171 pounds. He made weight. Does every time. Man's a fucking professional athlete. Every fucking time. And then 80-inch reach advantage. Sorry, 80 inches of reach with a 5-inch reach advantage. And Yaroslav Amasov on the other side, minus 400 favorite. He's 32 years old, 171 pounds. He came in no problem. 5'11", so he is 4 inches shorter, and 75-inch reach at a 5-inch reach disadvantage to Neil Magny. Advantage goes to the years. This guy's 32. He's in his prime right now, just making his UFC debut, but he's 28-1. This is a guy that's been around in Bellator for a long time. If you guys don't know, reigning champ over there. He went to other promotions recently, which I think is good. You know, I don't never like guys that just go from Bellator to UFC, but he did have a fight, Curtis Millender, in Cage Fury Fight Club, and that's a respected scene. I think that's where Conor McGregor came from. So who else came from there? Paddy Pimblett. So definitely a good scene over there. And what else do we have to say about this guy? I mean, like I said, making his UFC debut, 28-1, fucking great record. And yeah, man, just literally a fucking warrior. I have a video prepared to show you guys on this frontier. This is a guy that was literally put his belts underground. He went away, said, he can't defend the belt right now, obviously, because he had to go fight for his country in Ukraine. So this is what he went back for after. Let's turn that off. Yeah, he literally goes there, finds his belt that he buried underground. This is after the whole entire place got bombed, so he buried his belt to protect it. Goes underground in his bunker to reclaim his belt. Like, it's just crazy, guys. It's something else. You've never seen anything like that before in fighting. It's just insane. So Neil Magny, let's talk about him for a minute or two before we just jump all over the minus 400 favorite. I know it sounds bad, but on the other side, Neil Magny, I've cashed him the last 2 tickets. I mean, he was plus 300 in every fight. But, I mean, this guy's a gatekeeper, let's be honest. it is what it is now that he's 38. Never really got to touch gold, which is kind of sad for me. Honestly, by the way, he had a lot of good fights back in the day. I mean, you can go back to, like I said, 2015. This guy was in UFC, all the way back to The Ultimate Fighter season 16. This is in 2012. So this guy's been in the UFC for 13 years, man. One of the oldest fighters. At one point, like I said, he did have more finishes than GSP when they were both around in the same era, and people were talking about a fight between them, but obviously never got there because he's win loss kind of all throughout his career. You can never really put together a 3-fight win streak for very long, you know. He did it like twice, 2016 and 2020. But I mean, after that, it's loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, literally all the way. And then he had 2 L's and 2 W's. So I'm seeing a pattern there. And the pattern says we take 28-1 Yaroslav Amosov at minus 400. Because these last 2 guys, I mean, we all remember Mike Malott. That was a few fights ago. He won that one. I did cash on that ticket also. That was nice. And that motherfucker knocked our boy out. Hell yeah. Shout out to Dan in the chat. My boy, cheers. Hell yeah, Dan. Thanks for stopping by. Let's run one for you. How about this?
Wow, it's very nice.
So let's get back to this action here. Last 2 fights, Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. This is a guy that was Neil Magny's age. They were both fucking 40. So I said to myself, yeah, we're taking this plus money ass 300 plus dog. Hell yeah. And then Jake Matthews, his previous fight. This guy was a little bit younger, but I mean, he's got a 22-8 record. So I never thought that he was going to get into the top 10, which is, you mean, you got to beat Neil Magny to get into the top 10. That's why he's the gatekeeper, right? But then I thought, this guy was really just overperforming, didn't beat anybody heavily impressive, had that great performance over Chidi and Jaquani, round 1, rear naked choke, and all of a sudden he's a big fucking favorite against Neil Magny. It's like, he ain't getting to the top. So he cashed another plus 300 ticket. And point I'm making is there's no fucking way. Like I said, the last time he won 3 fights in a row, it was 5 years ago. I don't think he's going to do it again. Am I going to get lucky and cash this guy plus 300 3 times in a row? I don't believe so. Now, I guess you could find a way to get around Yaroslav Amosov by going inside the distance. But man, Neil Magny, this guy's minus 400. Sometimes this type of price tag says they definitely win, but not that he's going to knock him out. Knockouts and shit are at minus, these guys are minus 1,000. That's a for sure knockout, So Amosov by decision is plus 350. And like I said, Neil Magny's got the cardio. Maybe his chin is a little bit shot, but he's going to enjoy a 5-inch reach advantage. So maybe it's going to be hard for him to get there. And then he's got good grappling and defense too. So maybe he doesn't get subbed. Where is this guy to win by finish? Yeah, so inside the distance, you have plus 105, which it's not that good. And really, it looks so easy, but no. I would go decision at plus 350. Or even sub on some crazy shit. Anything that's the more plus money one. Just say fuck them. Fuck them. They're wrong. Take the other side. Take the bigger number. And just hope that you can laugh about it later. Last 2 fights, though, were finished in round 2 and 3 on the Neil Magny side. But that's because the other guys got fucked up. They gas. If you gas and lose cardio against Neil Magny, you're going to lose that fight. It happens every time. I've seen it, like I said, for 12, 13 years now. So on the Amosov side, again, he's got 11 subs, 8-1 in Bellator. He was 9-0 before that over in the Ukrainian promotion. In the Grand European Fighting Championship, he went 3-0. Last fight was a round 1 finish over Curtis Millender. Before that, this is his only loss. He lost to Jason Jackson, the ass-kicking machine, they call him, in Bellator. It's just a really big guy. He's kind of outsized there, so he was kind of winning that whole fight until Jason Jackson came back as a big underdog in round 3 and lost. So, like I said, that's his only loss. And that's the only thing that's worrisome, is that he is starting to lose. But like I said, he's only 32. I would go him. He's going to be in the parlay with that minus 180 we mentioned right before this. Steven Asplund under. And that parlay is not done yet. So, I mean, you could do that 2-legger. I don't think it gets you but like minus 120, minus 130. But we're going to throw another leg in there to get some plus monies. All right, next fight. We're getting into some good ones here. Next one's Joe Anderson Brito and Isaac Thompson. Isaac Thompson, another guy. I don't know the fuck we can trust this guy. 23 years old, coming in here 9-2 on the Team Alpha Male, respectable gym there for sure. 4 KOs, 1 KO loss, 1 submission. So looks like he's mostly a striker. LFA 6-2. Last fight, split decision. Round 1, rear naked choke, and then another decision. Before that, lost to a split decision. So, I mean, it's really not that impressive of a record. Nothing that says to me, oh, we need this guy in the UFC. So on this card, there's a lot of guys that I never fucking heard of before. Like we already talked about, Sean Sheriff, Alan Fry, and Guillermo Pat. None of them were on Dana White's Contender Series. I mean, Steven Asplund was, and that is it. Isaac Thompson's just getting called up from fucking butt fuck who knows nowhere. So I think I'm not going to make a long breakdown on this one. I'm going to go Joe Anderson Brito by KO. It's a ticket I've cashed before. Feel pretty good about this one ending inside the distance. And like I said, Brito is just a fucking powerhouse, this guy. Huge Brazilian. You guys want to see a picture of him? Let's bring up a picture. Why not? Well, that ain't it. That is not it. Joe Anderson Brito right here. Yeah, so like I said, pretty big guy. He's got knockout power. And yeah, I mean, I've been on it before, like I said, too. So definitely a spot that I really like for him. And then on the other side, let's just keep scrolling. I'll just leave this up the whole time. Why the fuck not? Isaac Thompson, 9-2. Like I said, Team Alpha Male. Like I said, he's just not really coming from anywhere. I don't know. And this guy, Joe Anderson Brito here, let's go look at his finishes. 7 KOs, 1 KO loss, 8 subs, 4 in the first round. I mean, just lots of finishes. I've seen it before, like I said. Even though last 2 are going decisions, those guys are both pretty good. Pat Sabatini and William Gomes, I don't think anywhere close to the level of Isaac Thompson. So, yeah, it's got to be fucking Joe Anderson Brito or bust here. I think this one was very easy. And that's, I guess, a little bit of what does scare me, you know? It looks so easy. Probably it's a general public spot. But, I mean, I don't really give a fuck about those kind of numbers in UFC. He's always getting bet on for his KOs. Everybody fucking knows it. Why? Because he's doing it. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it with that one right there. Joe Anderson Brito by KO. Or inside the distance is not bad either. So you don't have a prop on this book. The over 1.5 is minus 200 there. Where are these fights now? Here. So I got to bring up a different book because they are not giving me the numbers I want on this one. They don't have props available yet. So let's go to this book here. Joe Anderson Brito. Inside the distance is minus 120. That's what I like. Book it. Minus 120, not a bad price for both. I don't see a KO here, but I imagine it's going to be lesser than the sub. But he's pretty even on both. So, like I said, I don't love minus 120, but I don't hate it either. The method of KO right here, plus 215 for the KO. Sub plus 325. So, yeah, that's the way I like this one. Joe Anderson Brito, inside the distance. If you're going to pick one, just let's shoot for plus money at the end of the year. Let's go plus 300. Joe Anderson Brito by sub if you're going to do anything there. Safer play, minus 120 inside the distance. Pick your poison there. Me, I would go minus 120, like I said, and play it safe at the end of the year. So I do have some other plus money spots and props that I like a little bit more than that. That one would just be a shot in the dark. So, yeah, let's just move on. Next fight here. Next one's the third women's fight of the night. Amanda Lemos and Jillian Robertson. It's another one where we have a bit of an age gap. 38 years is Amanda Lemos. 30 years and 6 months. I don't know why I said 6 months, but fuck it. Keep rolling. Jillian Robertson, 16 and 8. Minus 195. This is at 115 pounds. She's 5'5" compared to 5'4" on the other side, and also has a 2-inch reach disadvantage. And then Amanda Lemos, like I said, 38. She's plus 160. And 15 and 5 is her record. Jillian 16 and 8. Man, I've seen Amanda Lemos. I don't think she's good on the ground. She's a fish out of water. In fact, I've said it before. We've seen it before. And our guy Dabfather texted me today. Wanted to give out a couple bets to you guys. And one of them is Jillian Roberts by submission. And that's, I'm just going to bring it up here on the text he sent me. That's a plus 225 on Jillian by submission. So that's the first bet from our guy, Dabfather. He's on vacation right now. Shout out to him. Couldn't make it here tonight. But then he gave us another bet we'll talk about later on the show too. Yeah, for me, I think so too. Jillian Robertson, like I said, there's a couple of these fights. If you guys just think like basically like most people, the general public, they're going to say most of the time women's fights go the distance. Just throw these in a parlay, call it a day. Man, you're going to get burned on one of these, maybe two. This is definitely the top one. I think Amanda Lemos has got some finishing potential on her side. Big knockout power, but Jillian's tough. I don't think she's ever been knocked out. Let's see. She does have one loss. And this was way early in her career. Yeah, we're talking like 5 years ago. So that's pretty good. I'll take that. Where is this one? Yeah, so looks pretty good there lately. Hasn't been finished. And like I said, she is tough. And that's Amanda Lemos' only path to victory. I believe that she can avoid it. Jillian definitely get some takedowns. And then once she does, I think she's going to submit her too. I don't think I really have to go to a much more of a breakdown here. Jillian Robertson's been on fire and cashing us tickets on the round 2, round 3. Last fight won in round 2 against Marina Rodriguez. Few fights before that, Polyana Viana. This one was so easy. Polyana Viana. Just, it's either round 1 or she loses in round 2. That was easy fucking money. And then before that, Piera Rodriguez in round 2. Rose Namajunas. Oh, sorry, that was a grappling match. And then Maria Agapova round 2. So it happens quite frequently with her. There's definitely, we've seen this before, equity on the round 2 here. And even round 3. Like I said, I always try to back myself up with that round 3 bet, just because in case it does go to round 3, you're going to kick yourself for just taking one. And then the round 3 is like, you know, way more, plus 800. So you'd cover your bet and some by betting that. Yeah, let's see. She hadn't really finished somebody in a long time. Last 2 fights decision, and then she did get a round 2 over Virna Jandiroba, and then it's a lot of decisions. 4-1 last 5 to the decision, in fact, for Amanda Lemos. But she also, we've seen her get subbed before by Jessica Andrade very easily. And then her loss to Virna Jandiroba, she lost by armbar too. So 2 top grapplers, they fucking got it done very easily. I think we could see this again. So, like I said, Jillian by sub is really good. And then that's plus 225. Then you have the round 2, round 3 props on Jillian is plus 550 and plus 650. So that's already telling you something. Amanda Lemos plus 1200 plus 1600. Again, telling us something. Fight to end in round 2 is plus 350. And fight to end in round 3 is plus 550. So I would definitely take a bit of a loss there. Is plus 350 still good, and plus 550 is great. Put a little Amanda Lemos by knockout in there just in case, and still take the plus 350 and plus 550 round 2, round 3. All right. Great breakdown on that fight. Let's go to the next one. This is another one where Lance Gibson Jr. is making his UFC debut. He's 9-1. And let's see his last records. He was in just a fucking shitty fight league again. This one is one I don't really have much respect for. This guy could be good. I don't know. We don't know yet. But maybe one of these guys that's from these shitty fight leagues, he comes through as a fucking decent underdog, right? So what's he at here? He's a plus 165 underdog versus Bobby Green minus 200. He's 30 years old, 160 pounds. This one's a catch weight fight because it's on short notice. So the weight was 160. They both came in at 158.5. They're both 5'10. And then Lance Gibson Jr. is going to have a 1-inch reach advantage. 1.5, 72.5 inches. I don't know if fucking King Green, his name was Bobby Green. He legally changed his name to King Green about a year or 2 ago. I don't know if this guy should be a fucking minus 200 favorite at 39 years old. I mean, he was good way back in the day. He has this hood style of fighting is what he was originally announced at. Wish I could bring that one up for you guys, but yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking trust Bobby Green. I'm going to say that. I really don't. His last 2 fights, he was knocked out in round 1, 2 minutes and 3 minutes. Went the distance with Jim Miller, but Jim Miller's just as old as he is. Been in the UFC forever. And then he had a round 1 loss to Jalen Turner before that. So, man, maybe we see some fucking violence here. I think maybe is the way to bet this one. Is Bobby Green. He might knock out this young kid if this guy's not good. He's got fast hands, you know. It's going to equal a little bit of power for sure. And we've seen him drop guys before, like, who was it? Grant Dawson, round 1. He came out, threw a fucking straight, knocked him out in 30 seconds. But like I said, that doesn't really happen a lot. This guy's not really trending to the wins at all either right now. So, like I said, I don't think we can do it. Fight not to go the distance is minus 175, under 2.5, minus 135. I think that's the way I go with this one, too. This fucker might even end in round 1, boys and girls. Round 1, he might just do it. So I don't hate that. Like I said, Bobby Green, last 4 fights, 3 of them, 4-1 last 5 to the round 1 finish. And one of them was a decision in there to Jim Miller. Like I said, he's a veteran. He knows how to survive in there. But yeah, man. And then let's go back one more. Tony Ferguson, round 3. And then there was another one that ended in round 1. It was a no contest, but still the same style of stupid fucking fighting. Lost to Drew Dober in round 2 after surviving that round 1. And then, of course, he got submitted by Islam round 1. Easy money there. And then he lost a grappling match round 1. And then he lost round 1. I mean, it's just all over. I don't have to keep going there. And then on the Lance Gibson Jr. side, It's round one. All last 4 fights. And then the decision in the 5th one. So I'm going to go round 1 on this fucker, guys. Fight to end in round 1. Where's that? You son of a bitch. Let me find a number for you before we get to the next one. Some books, the same book just had the numbers for that last one, and now they don't have a round 1 on this one. Means they don't really want to put it out there yet. All right, well, I can't find the fucking number on that one, but that's what the hell we are going to do. Round 1 or bust. This one's not bad on Bet Online. Round 1 scorecard winner or finish. Lance Gibson Jr. plus 175. That's the same as his money line, and he just has to win round 1. Maybe he could do it. That's actually not bad. Maybe I'll try one of those. Never bet something like that before. Maybe I'll try that. That sounds pretty cool. But let's move on to the next fight. Heavyweight fight. Kennedy and Zechiku versus Marcus Buheka. This one's Kennedy minus 135. He's 33 years old, 243 pounds, 6'5", 83-inch reach. God damn. 83-inch reach, guys. That's crazy. Got to be one of the biggest ones in the heavyweight division, in my opinion. This guy, like, he's just tall as fuck. His nickname is the African Savage. Where is that one? 83-inch reach. Damn. What do you want to say about Marcus Buheka, Dylon? I don't know. This guy's a good grappler. He's got 4 submission wins, 1 KO win, 2 decision losses. He's coming from 1 championship where he was 5-1. It's a Singapore promotion, definitely highly respected. Actually, one of my favorites outside the UFC, and watch it all the time. It's got kickboxing and Muay Thai and MMA all in the same event. It's fucking great. But yeah, this guy just lost to Martin Boudet, which that was just a terrible fucking fight. He lost to Omar Kane out there. Rug. Shout out to my guy. I've been following him. I think he's the, at least he was the champion in 1 championship last I looked. Yeah, he beat Anatoly Malikin. He is the heavyweight champion. So this guy lost to the heavyweight champion in 1 championship, and then won his next match, round 1, rear naked choke. Couldn't get Martin Boudet out of there in his UFC debut, and now he's going up against Kennedy and Zechiku. Man, I don't really like Kennedy either, though. I just never trusted this guy. This guy was at light heavyweight, and he was a little bit untrustworthy. And now he's at heavyweight, still untrustworthy. I mean, he finished Chris Barnett round 1. We all knew what the fuck was going to happen there, but he didn't even make it look that impressive. And then Lucas Brzeski, maybe the same thing. He took all round to finish it. He fucking sweat that shit out round 1. And then he lost a split decision to Ovince St. Preux, lost to Dustin Jacoby at light heavyweight with a round 1 knockout. Yeah, so I don't know, man. This guy's 3-2. Sorry, 2-3 in his last 5. I can't really get to the window with Kennedy. I don't think I'm ever going to trust him at heavyweight. So I'm going to go with the underdog here. That's what I have to pick. I'm not going to bet this one. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm going to tighten up my picks for the end of the year. And this ain't one. Not Marcus. But if I had to make a play here, I would take the plus 110 dog and Marcus. All right, let's go to the next fight. This is on the main card. Morgan Charrier, the last pirate, 21-11-1 versus Melchizedek Costa. And what do you want to say about this one? Morgan Charrier, it's a pick'em fight. I mean, this one's going to be tough. This is the only pick'em on the card. They're minus 110, like I said. They're both 30 years old, roughly. Melchizedek's 29, both 145.5 pounds, nice weight. I mean, Melk's a little bit taller, 2 inches. Doesn't matter too much. Has a 2-inch reach advantage. Doesn't matter too much to me. So I really had a tough time picking this one. So we're going to go to our senior MMA correspondent, Dab Father. This is his next bet of the night. He sent me this one because I didn't really know it. I probably would have done nothing in this fight, but he texted me today. He wanted to give me 2 bets. He said, Jillian Robertson by submission and Morgan Charrier moneyline. So we are going to tail my boy, Dab Father, the other host of this show, with the last pirate, Morgan Charrier. But let's break it down a little bit. Melchizedek Costa, he's really good, man. He's well-rounded. He's got good cardio. I mean, he's got 7 KOs, 8 submissions, 9 decisions, so he really can win that fight anywhere it goes. Wins over Julian Erosa and Christian Rodriguez, decent wins in his last few fights. Nothing crazy, but you know, you got to get there somehow, right? He's 4-1 in his last 5. Did lose to Steve Garcia, but Steve Garcia, he's on a fucking tear right now. That's not a bad loss at all. So if not for that, he would have been on a 6-fight winning streak, Melchizedek Costa. Other than that, Morgan Charrier, 13 wins by KO, 3 subs, and then 3 decision wins, but 10 decision losses, guys. 5 unanimous and 5 splits. So there, I don't know, didn't watch all of his fights, I'll be honest with you guys. But there's definitely some greasy splits in there. I just know that. There's no way he's got 5 of them and he was supposed to lose all of those fights. Like, judges get it wrong. Definitely 1 time out of 5. I would argue 2 or 3, actually. Fucking assholes. But I digress. So like I said, this one's a pretty tough fight. On his side, he did finish Nate Landwehr in round 3, which that guy was tough, but he was getting old. Just took a beating. Out decision Nathaniel Wood. That's a good look. Gabriel Miranda. I mean, that guy was pretty good too. So, I mean, definitely the better wins are on the Morgan Charrier side. So, yeah, we're going to side with our guy, the Dab Father. Like I said, he gave me that one. And that's what we're going to go ahead and do on this one. But I wouldn't be surprised if it swung the other way. Like I said, this is a pick'em fight. But, yeah, let's go with the last Pirates, Morgan Charrier. All right. On to this next one, guys. We got 3 more left, and we'll wrap it up. Cesar Almeida versus Cezary Oleksiejczak. 16-3 is Cezary. He is a -200 favorite, 25 years old. They're both coming in at 185.5 pounds. He is 6'3", 2 inches taller, and he is going to have a 1.5-inch reach advantage. Cesar Almeida on the other side, 7-1 plus 170, 37 years old. And yeah, this is a guy been kickboxing for a long time. Everybody on this fight, you have to bring it up, I think. Kickboxed with Alex Pereira back in the day. Had a decision win, and then a decision loss. So this guy actually was in that whole mix of fucking kickboxers with Adesanya and Pereira way back in the day. We're talking about 2015. I mean, this is 10 years ago. So, and then, you know, he did go on to do Glory Kickboxing. Great fucking promotion, if you guys don't know. But he went 1-1 there, not too good. And then he came to Dana White's Contender Series recently, won that fight, looked good. And then he's been around for a little bit in the UFC now, 2 years. Had a win over Dylan Budka, which, I mean, that was good. That guy had no ground game. Split decision loss to Roman Kopylov. That was just a strikers matchup. And then Ihor Potieria, I mean, should have finished that fucking bum Ihor, but couldn't. And then won over Abdul Razak Al Hassan, round 1. So, I mean, he's looking good right now. But, like I said, Father Time is undefeated. This one actually has one of the biggest age gaps on the entire card, and I'm a big fan of that shit. So, I'm going 16-3, Cezary Oleksiejczak. This is the brother of Mikey Oleksiejczak. They're both in the UFC. And, Yeah, let's look at his last few fights. Round 1, Theo Haig on Contender Series, 30 seconds. Round 1, a minute and a half. And then round 1. Round 3, decision, round 1. So, I mean, he's really getting it done out there. He was the champion in this Polish promotion. He was at FEN, which I think is an okay Polish promotion. All of them over there know how to fight. These are not cans knocking each other out. These guys are all pretty good fighters, I think, over there. For the most part, we'll say. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He was on the Prime Show MMA, which I don't know what the fuck that is. FNC 21. But like I said, I don't really understand Polish regional scene MMA. Or this one was even in Croatia, so definitely don't know shit about it. All right. So who knows? But I'm definitely going to take the younger fighter here. I know he's got a good skill set. I've seen him fight before. He looked great. And people in the gym, I mean, they're obviously going to always talk good about their boys and all that kind of shit. But they say that he's better than Mikey O, kind of more well-rounded everywhere, which, I mean, makes sense. Mikey O's no fucking legend, but this guy's 25. He could learn from his bigger brother, do better. And I'm definitely going to use him as a minus 200 parlay piece this week. Think he gets that one done. And like I said, this is a 12-year age gap. Yeah, so we're just going to fade those. Like I said, that's just way too big. Anything above 10 and then like 12 or 13, it's honestly insane, guys. We can't be betting those 40-year-olds. Long term, this is going to pay off 100%. It has been for years. And Father Time is undefeated. It will continue to pay off. I can one bet I will guarantee. When you do it every time, pays off in the long run. Right there. Fading fuckers, especially at 13. It's getting pretty wide. But let's go to the co-main event of the evening, guys. All right. Where's this information at, you son of a bitch? All right, Giga Chikadze. This guy's 37 years old, too, plus 240, 145 pounds, 6 foot tall, 74-inch reach advantage versus Kevin Vallejos, 16-1, minus 300, 24 years old, 145 pounds, 5'7", 68 inches of reach. So in this fight, that is 13 years apart. The other one was 12 years, and this one's 13, even more. So you already know. I just explained it. We're doing Kevin Vallejos, even though he's minus 300. I don't really give a shit. We got to parlay that with somebody else too. End up round robining this shit by the end of the night. Giga's coming back after 8 months. Fought last time. Honestly, he was supposed to be this great fucking fighter. I remember, when was this? Probably when he was coming up here in 2020. Had wins over Jamal Emmers, Brandon Davis. This is when he was making his run for sure in 2020. He had so many fights. And then disappeared for a couple of years, kind of on and off. But anyways, the UFC was making like promotional videos with this guy. He showcased his little tutorial, showing his special move, the Giga kick, and they had all this marketing on him and shit. And he just didn't really work out. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened. He was pretty good, and then he just kind of fell off a cliff. Now he's 3-1 in his last 4. Had a win over Alex Caceres, but that was not a very impressive performance there. Lost to David Onama by decision, Arnold Allen by decision, Calvin Kattar by decision. So, I mean, we've just been seeing him get beaten up in lots of these fights too, especially that Calvin Kattar one. He had to take a year off after that. He got an ass whooping there. He was busted up. I think Arnold Allen too, fucking, even though it went the distance, I'm pretty sure he was beat up in all these fights. Now Kevin Vallejos on the other side, 16-1. His only loss was to Gene Silva. And if you guys don't know Gene Silva, that guy's on a fucking tear as of recently. He was on like a 10-fight fucking win streak, 15 even. And then he lost to Diego Lopez, which we were on Diego Lopez too. So we've been pretty successful following that guy's record. But I mean, he's fucking great. And that's Kevin Vallejos' only loss. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trusted in fucking Giga Chikadze here. Not one bit. Not at this age. Not with what he's been doing lately. And if I get burned, so be it. It is what it is. But we're on the age gap here. Kevin Vallejos and the better record, 16-1. He might even fucking finish Giga here. Who knows? This guy might be... His last 3 fights, he's 2-1, 3-1, 4-1 to finishes. So, I mean, we could see him do it here. Like I said, over an older fighter. The co-main event spot. We did see a lot of dogs cash all year in the co-main event spot. But I'm not doing that here. I'm not laying a price with fucking Giga, 15-5, 37 years old. Nah, not for me, dog. Can't do it. I'd go Kevin and Kevin inside the distance on that. I think he might actually knock this guy out. So, yeah, that's what we're doing there. Brandon Royval on the other side. Hold on, where is he? Brandon Royval versus Manel Kopp. All right, this is your main event of the evening. Manel Kopp, Starboy, is minus 300. 32 years old, 126. Coming in just a pound heavy. Took all the time in the world to weigh in, actually. He showed up with 2 minutes left to spare, stepped on that scale. And, I mean, since it's not for a title, you can go 1 pound over, but he should have been at 125. But on the other side, fucking Brandon Royval came in at 126 either, so I wouldn't really read into that too much. He is 4 inches shorter at 5'5", but he has the same reach at 68 inches, so I think that's going to be just fine. Brandon Royval, 17-8 on the other side. I mean, I don't know if we can trust this guy and his style to win this fight. Had a decision loss to Josh Van. I mean, that was a close fight. Split decision with Tatsuro Taira. Split decision with Brandon Moreno. Decision. And then before that, he was on a bit of a finish tear, but now as he's getting to the high level of fighters, he's starting to go the distance a little bit. So I don't really hate this one to go the distance either. I mean, he's always been a tough guy to knock out. Even though Manel Kopp does have 13 KOs, 5 subs, and then he's been to decision 8 times. 2 submission losses. So if Manel Kopp loses, I mean, it's going to be by submission or decision. I would lean more towards the submission if he does lose. Let's see. Last fight, won over Asu Alamabayev, round 3, and then Bruno Silva in round 3, and Muhammad Mahayev by decision. He actually lost that one to Muhammad, and then Muhammad got kicked out of the fucking UFC after that. But here's another noteworthy thing here. Let's go through his schedule of fights, even beyond the ones that he actually fought. So Brandon Royval canceled, fought Asu Alamabayev, canceled against Brandon Royval. So twice these guys were supposed to fight before. Fought Bruno Silva, fought Muhammad Mahayev, canceled bout Mateusz Nicolau times 2, fought Felipe de Santos, canceled bout, win over David Dvorak, canceled bout. Like that's just this guy's fucking story. And then he fought 3-4 times in a row, and then canceled bout, and then canceled bout. This motherfucker pulls out like nobody's business. That's why probably he doesn't have kids. I mean, he does whatever the fuck he wants, and that's another reason why I don't know. I still trust him in this spot to win this fight, but man, doing all this bullshit, coming in, fucking missing weight, barely scraping by on your fucking weight, looking like a dickhead doing it, canceling all these bouts. Like UFC probably doesn't want to fucking promote him, but they also know that he's very good and he is a pretty exciting fighter to watch. So maybe he knows he can get away with this type of shit. But to me, it looked like he had a little bit of fucking gyno. And if you guys remember, UFC is off the USADA testing pool now. So steroids are back, baby. Woo! I was kidding, but seriously, he's on the fucking roids. On the fucking roids for sure. And I have proof, living proof of it. We're going to bring it up right now here on live. See how big his titties have gotten? Fucking huge, guys. Like, fucking huge. All right. Just take a minute. Take a minute and take those in. Yeah. Like I said, fucking huge. No, but seriously, let's go find a real picture of him. But it still looks like he's got fucking gyno titties in this most recent photo. Come on, give me the photo here. All right. Bear with me here. This is important, very important work we're doing here. You can literally see it on like the fucking poster. Wow, that's the old one though. Get the fuck out of here. Give me UFC Vegas 112. All right. Look, you can literally see it on my background here. That's a real picture that they used for this poster. All right. And there it is right there. This one's maybe a little bit better. The Tapology photo kind of does it justice. Let's do that one. All right. Bear with me here. Like I said, I swear to God, this is important, or we wouldn't be spending that much time on it. All right. Right there, you can see it. Let's zoom in. Over here, you can see it, okay? How big it is. Just poking out. That one I showed you before, it's literally just that one. The little bump on his fucking titty. It's just that, but fucking Photoshop to make him bigger. So he's definitely been fucking using steroids. And yeah, I'm going to take the guy that's on fucking roids here. I think he's going to be able to get it done. He's a good wrestler too. He'll be able to defend these takedowns. I think he's definitely the better striker. He's going to be faster out there. All that good stuff. So yeah, that's really it. That's it. I think Manel Cop Starboy is going to win this one. Hate to be so fucking easy with it, but that's the way I think this one's going to go down. Maybe this fucker goes the distance. Get the over 4.5 rounds at plus 105. Let's see. Manel Cop by decision is a plus 275. I don't hate it. I don't hate any of those. It's like I said, Royval's hard to finish too, so this one might go the distance. That's the way I think that cookie's going to crumble. And so yeah, it's going to be an under. I think it might be an over. And then Manel Cop wins. So that's the way I'm going to bet on this one. I think over 4.5 rounds. Fight goes the distance since they're both plus money. And Manel Cop on the money line. But let's go. Told you guys I have the 3-leg parlay. That's the third leg is Manel Cop, guys. So, come on. Where is it? Bring it up here. I think it's a plus 166 on that parlay. That was the Steven Asplund under 1.5. It's one of my favorite bets. That one's got violence. That's violence, 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 and more fucking violence, guys. Just how I see that for sure. And then you have Yaroslav Amosov at minus 400 and Manel Cop at minus 270. Put those all three together for a plus 165. That's what I like there. And then I gave you guys the underdog. I can't remember his fucking name because they're all new to the UFC. Bear with me here. What was that fucking guy's name? And which book did I bet it on? You know? Fucking problems. Let's go UFC Fight Night. Oh, yeah. Alan Fry Jr. versus Guillermo Pat. That's a dog we're on. Plus 150. Gave that one out. The under in the Asplund fight, like I said, it's going in the parlay. Amosov and Manel Cop plus 165. Joe Anderson, Brito, the KO, or inside the distance, I think is what I said I like the best. Let's do that one. Minus 120, Joe Anderson, Brito, inside the distance. Might even be round one. Our boy, the Dab Father, he gave us Jillian Robertson by submission at plus 225. Had that round one fight to end in round one for Green, Lance Gibson Jr. I think that one could get finished early, under 1.5, probably a good bet. Maybe back yourself up with round two, but I like the under 1.5 in round one. And then our boy, the Dab Father, again, he gave us Morgan Charrier, minus 110, the last Pirate. Nice work there. Hey, maybe you want to parlay those two picks together. I don't know. I think I know my guy, Dab Father, pretty well. He might fucking do it, but definitely make sure you bet them both as singles, too. I will say that. And then Cesare Almeida. Let's do a different parlay instead of just doing the same shit. We don't want to put all the same guys in the same parlay. Let's do Cesare Jacek and Kevin Vallejos, the two age gaps. We'll call this one the age gap parlay. Fuck it. That's a minus 114. All right. Book that one. And then the over in that main event. I think 4.5 rounds this fight to go the distance. And then fight goes the distance. Both of those are plus money. So why not take them both, cash them both, and then get yourself a little bit of insurance just in case. What if there is a late fucking round 5 finish with 10 seconds left and you're like, oh, fuck. You know, at least you got covered by the over 4.5. Been there before. Seen it before. Been there before. You know what? I'll leave you guys with a couple of hockey bets for tomorrow. Saturday slate, and we're talking Saturday MMA. Let's do hockey really quick. I'm not going to break these down. Maybe I'll do a show in the morning, the Rink Report, maybe live here on Who-Bangin. Make sure you watch that one in the morning if you want a little bit more action. But let's go Anaheim Ducks, plus 112. Quack, quack, quack. Okay. All the way. The quack attack is back, Jack. You understand that? So let's do that one. And let's do, where's this duck video? Should have had this one prepared. All good. Unreal. Unreal how we just can't find stuff when we need it. You know what I mean? All right, we got it here. For the Ducks. And then the other bet we'll give you, Colorado Avalanche. This is one I am going to break it down right now. For you guys that are sticking around, you're really lucky. Nashville and Colorado tomorrow. This is a spot I've been fucking waiting for. If you go back and watch that last Nashville versus Colorado game, or just the highlights, obviously not the whole game, you're going to see that Colorado should have won that game, and Predators fucked around in the end. It got greasy as fuck. I mean, they're going to be mad about that one. The Predators ran over their fucking goalie. A bunch of dumb shit happened late. And this was just 2 days ago, like I said, so it's fresh in their heads. This is a fucking 100% revenge spot. Revenge. I've been thinking about this ever since I lost that fucking bet on Colorado versus Nashville. They're not losing to Nashville twice in a row. Book the puck line, minus 140 tomorrow for the fucking Colorado Avalanche. And book the Anaheim Ducks for plus 110, all right? Bang, bang, bang the drum, Duck. Let's fucking go. And then as we wrap up this show, if I don't see you guys before the holiday season, Merry Christmas to everybody. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Appreciate every single one of you. And we're going to leave you with this clip from Canada. A little bit snowy over here today. Here we go. We'll turn off Mariah Carey so we don't get trademarked. Here comes the Lambo. Boom, through traffic. Takes that guy out. Boom, into the pond. And this guy just falls over. and the sinking. Hell yeah. Leave you with that little Canadian classic clip for myself, everybody else over here at Who-Bangin Sports. Make sure you tune in to all the other shows. We just had Boss in the Sauce tonight. Make sure you go check that out. Make sure you tell your friends about Boss in the Sauce, the Fight Lounge, the Rink Report, and any other great content that you see that might pop up. Hey, Live Sweat might be back next Tuesday too, just in case you guys were wondering. But I digress. Thanks for tuning in. We went for a whole hour. Let's cash those fucking tickets tomorrow. And Merry Christmas. Last fight card of the year. Make this fucking money. Tune into the Rink Report tomorrow with your boy Dylon and possibly Jimmy Gomez. Who knows, man? Bed Bath & Beyond. Not sure. Until then, see you later. Peace.
Can't fuck with me, dog.